Would it surprise you if you were to find out that only about 5% of the internet is accessible through search engines? To most users, the internet appears as an endless virtual world of information and e-commerce. It made our lives easier and improved our living standards. But like most things, the internet has a dark, colossal secret: the dark web. There are three main portions of the World Wide Web: surface web, deep web, and dark web. Surface web is the portion of the World Wide Web that is readily available to the general public and searchable with standard web search engines. It is the part of the web most of us are familiar with, and also the part of the web that is under constant surveillance by governments across the world. Deep web is the largest portion and forms around 95% of the World Wide Web compared to surface web's 5%. Deep web includes data that are not indexed by search engines. This means that you will not access this data with a simple search. This includes websites which can be accessed with a username and password, such as your email, online banking, or paid subscription-based online media sites, video on demand services like Netflix, Amazon Prime, your medical records, etc. Dark web is a subset of deep web that exists in overlay networks that use the internet but require specific software configurations or authorization to access. The term dark web first emerged in 2009. However, it is unknown when the actual dark web first emerged. It is believed that the dark web was actually created by the US government to allow spies to exchange information completely anonymously. US military researchers then developed Tor in the mid-1990s and released it into the public domain for everyone to use. Tor browsers and Tor accessible sites are the most widely used network among the dark web users, and since it is encrypted, it helps people to maintain privacy and freely express their views. Identities and locations of dark web users stay anonymous and cannot be tracked due to the layered encryption system. The dark web encryption technology routes users' data through a large number of intermediate servers, which protects the user's identity and guarantees anonymity. The transmitted information can be decrypted only by a subsequent node in the scheme, which leads to the next node. The complicated system makes it almost impossible to reproduce the node path and decrypt the information layer by layer. Due to the high level of encryption, websites are not able to track geolocation and IP of their users, and users are also not able to get this information about the host. Thus, communication between dark web users is highly encrypted, allowing users to talk, blog, and share files confidentially. However, over the years, dark web has gained a reputation for illegal activities. According to a study, the most commonly hosted type of contents on Tor is child pornography, followed by black markets, while the individual sites with the highest traffic are botnet operations, which basically means running bots to steal and attack privacy and data. And there are sites about political discussion forums, people exposing secret information about private, public, or government organizations, sites about Bitcoin and fraud-related services, and mail order services. Commercial dark web markets bring about transactions for illegal goods and typically use Bitcoin as payment because of its flexibility. These markets have attracted significant media coverage, starting with the popularity of dark web black markets like Silk Road and Diabolus Market and its subsequent seizure by legal authorities. Silk Road was one of the first dark web marketplaces that emerged in 2011 and has allowed for the trading of weapons and identity fraud resources. These markets have no protection for its users and can be closed down at any time by authorities. Despite the closures of these marketplaces, others pop up in their place. As of 2020, there have been at least 38 active dark web marketplaces, with illegal drugs being the most sought-after goods. These marketplaces are similar to that of eBay or Craigslist, where users can interact with sellers and leave reviews about marketplace products. Not only this, there have been reports of crowd-funded assassinations and hitmen for hire. Most of these turned out to be scams, however. There's also an urban legend that one can find live murder on the dark web. There are social media platforms in the dark web similar to those on the surface web. They work like a regular social networking site where members can have customizable pages, have friends, like posts, and blog in forums. Other traditional social media platforms like Facebook have also begun to make dark web versions of their websites. There are many hackers in the dark web as well. These hackers sell their services individually or as a part of groups. Some of them have been known to track down pedophiles, while some have been offered for cybercrimes and hacking services for financial institutions and banks. Illegal pornography, more specifically child pornography, has the most popularity on the dark web. About 80% of web traffic is related to accessing child pornography, despite it being difficult to find. Other content includes sexualized torture and killing of animals and revenge porn. The birth of the dark web attracted terrorist organizations due to the anonymity, lack of regulation, social interaction, and easy accessibility. These groups have been taking advantage of the chat platforms within the dark web to inspire terrorist attacks. Groups have even posted how-to guides teaching people how to become and hide their identity as terrorists. The dark web became a forum for terrorist propaganda, guiding information, and most importantly, funding. With the introduction of Bitcoin, and anonymous transactions were created, which allowed for anonymous donations and funding. By accepting Bitcoins, terrorists were now able to fund money to purchase weaponry. There have been arguments that the dark web promotes civil liberties like free speech, privacy, and anonymity. Accessing the dark web isn't illegal, but engaging with illegal activities on the dark web will probably end up in getting caught. It is impossible to track down an IP address, but the law enforcement has employed many other tactics in order to identify and arrest those engaging in illegal activities on the dark web. They have developed tools to legally collect information from public sources, and Interpol now has a dedicated dark web training program. In conclusion, the dark web can be a dark place with sites and tools to carry out criminal activities. It is a breeding ground for cyber criminals and traditional criminals alike. The creators of the Silk Road may be in prison, but their legacy lives on.